Good evening and welcome to Loose Cannon. I'm your host Aftab Iqbal. Today we are discussing India-Pakistan relations and the perspective is the Joe Biden administration. On the sidelines though, we will be discussing the famous investment of over $20 billion coming into Pakistan from Saudi Arabia. As usual, we have our panel of guests and of course, Uncle Z live from Washington, D.C. I will start with Mr. Goswami from the Dummy Museum. Yes, Mr. Goswami, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, Mr. Aftab Iqbal. What about you?
Fine, I'm very good. Thank you very much. How do you and your Prime Minister feel about the peace initiatives being forced by the Biden administration on Kashmir?
Mr. Aftab Iqbal, this is the worst thing to have happened in the region in the recent times. Ridiculous. Pathetic. I don't even know the bad words I should say about it.
Say anything, Goswami. It is bad, I tell you in advance.
Mr. Goswami, we've seen you do a lot of things that are treacherous. We've seen you on this show mistreat women. We've seen you go behind bars. But am I to believe that you are against peace in India and Pakistan? Are you against peace in South Asia?
Absolutely not. I am the most peaceful person in the whole region. Don't forget that. But peace should come with equal terms. Do you think Pakistan is actually wishing for peace, Uncle Z? Coming from you? Wow. Go back to somewhere.
Whoa. Mr. Goswami, what are you talking about? I just read that Mr. Imran Khan said that if India takes one step forward towards peace in the region, Pakistan will take 2 steps forward. What do you have to say about that, Mr. Goswami?
He doesn't know, perhaps. He was sleeping that day.
No. Didn't you see the arrogance of Imran Khan? Didn't you see that?
What arrogance?
We gave him our airspace to travel above our airspace. He said no. See the arrogance, Uncle Z?
No, he said no with thanks.
Uncle Z, it's very simple to understand. Perpetual conflict is what Mr. Goswami makes money from. Raving as a lunatic.
Wow.
That's what he makes money from. So
Not at
how
all.
can he possibly laud anything which leads towards peace?
FSJ, on a little serious note, Joe Biden is pushing peace on Kashmir. Doesn't seem that old to me these days.
No, he's not. I mean, he surprised us. I think Kashmir is a festering sore. It's the price of colonization that we still have to pay. A conflict was left behind by the withdrawing British, and it has had no resolution so far. There has to be a resolution. All the conflicts in the world have actually come to a resolution, and it is never going to happen on the battlefield. It is most likely to happen on the negotiating table.
Yes, exactly, Mr. Faisal Sherjan. If you look at what the United States of America is doing, well, not only are we exporting democracy around the world, but we are working on exporting peace. And one of Joe Biden's initial initiatives is to have peace for the 2 democratic nations of both Pakistan and India. It is fundamental to our future that Pakistan and India have peace, and this will create a safety from evil China with its human rights abuses and attacks on the United States, and of course Russia, who has been meddling with our democracy. We have 2 very dangerous nations in that region, and therefore Pakistan and India must come together as friends.
Wait a minute, Uncle Z. I would involve Miss Zhao because automatically she's involved because of the comment you made. Yes, Miss Zhao.
I am so surprised. Uncle Z sounds more like Goswami today. That's a shame.
What an insult, Uncle Z.
Wow, Miss Zhao, I thought we were friends this whole time. And now you're comparing me to that dummy?
Uncle Z, I thought you would just give her a shut-up call with that hillbilly accent of yours.
Hillbilly accent? What are you trying to say, Mr. Goswami?
That redneck thing. I don't want to talk about it anymore, okay? Listen, Uncle Z.
Yes, Mr. Goswami.
What did you get by simping China? What did you get? You tell me. Did you get anything out of it? They're not trustworthy.
Here is another prediction for you, Uncle Z. China and the US are going to cozy up. And guess who's going to bring them together? Like we did in 1972? Pakistan is going to take that initiative. While in Sri Lanka, Imran Khan made that statement already and said we'd even like to invite the US to the CPEC.
Wow, trying to be Panne Khan. Wow, nice try. FSJ, nice try.
What is your problem?
My problem?
Yes, apparently it is that you wanted him to use your airspace, which is a ridiculous contention.
Oh, no, we never. No, not at all. Uncle Z, you laughing at me or what?
Obviously at you.
Who else am I going to laugh at? Who's the dummy on this show?
You are the only theatrical item we have.
Well, practically we both are dummies. Don't forget that.
Whoa. You calling me a dummy, Mr. Goswami?
Well, I won't repeat it.
There's a difference between a dummy and a dumb, if you know what I mean. Okay, Goswami, for a change, please stop being a dumb.
Mr. Goswami clearly does not represent the Indian people. Let's involve Miss Asha. Miss Asha, can you tell us how
Who else do I represent here? Do I represent Nepalis, Bhutanese, Bengalis? Who else? Come on.
Goswami, you represent big business, big industry.
Oh, no. I am the voice of a common man. Don't forget that. You guys tried to ignite that farmers protesting, didn't you? What happened? Where did that go? Where is the international news? Where is the hoopla? No more.
First off, Mr. Goswami, there is hoopla. There is international news. They are still concerned about the farmers in India. They are concerned about the issues you brought up. What we have learned from this show over and over again is that you only represent the interests of the far-right extremists of the RSS and BJP, the worst elements of India. That is what you represent, Mr. Goswami.
I'm listening. Keep saying it. I'm listening. Yes, go on.
Well, I think we should ask someone else with maybe a little bit more sense up here, Mr. Goswami. Miss Asha, tell us the truth. What does the common Indian feel about this move towards peace in India and Pakistan?
Asha ji, namaste.
Uncle Z, we feel very good about it, but obviously at the end of the day, we do have trust deficit. But we are looking forward to a good deal, a good environment. And please let me clear here, Mr. Goswami does not represent a common man in India. God forbid, he does not.
Oh my God, Asha ji, go back to Pakistan, please.
Mr. Iqbal, I have a question.
Yes, please go ahead.
Why this Goswami is always sending people back to so many places?
He's a retard.
He's a travel agent in disguise.
Wow.
He's a tour operator.
I just want to know what is his trauma behind this.
Yeah, FSJ is right. He's a glorified tour operator.
Do you sell tickets, Goswami?
No. There's only one-way ticket. Just wait.
Yeah, he sells tickets in Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, and elsewhere.
Mr. Goswami, I would like to take a tour. Can you buy me some tour tickets? I'd like to take a tour of all of South Asia. What do you say, Mr. Goswami?
Tu broke? Really? Wow. Where is that Arab guy? He must be laughing at me somewhere, I know.
He's always laughing at you. The rest of the world is also laughing at you.
Who is not?
Hello Arnab, how are you?
Yo, what's good? How are you?
I hear you're being a big of a dummy as ever, Arnab.
Oh, coming from you, that hurts. That hurts.
Oh, Arnab.
That hurts bad.
FSJ, a word about the peace initiative that took place on the LOC the other day.
Yeah, so Joe Biden's first 100 days, I think the most significant thing in that is going to be his attempts at bringing peace to South Asia, at trying to rein in Mohammed bin Salman, right, and his disruptions in the Middle East. We see Syria is quieting down. There's nothing happening there anymore. We see Yemen quieting down, right? So there's a lot of pressure. There is a lot of desire to calm the world down. And we will see more of this in this first 100 days.
You know, Mr. Faisal Sherjan is absolutely right. I mentioned this earlier. Mr. Joe Biden is going to do a lot of work to reverse and change all of the things that Trump did while he was in office, including both domestic and international policy. Look at what he's doing domestically. He's reversed everything, starting with the Muslim ban, going to every single economic policy. when you look at internationally, not only is he going to change South Asian peace, the peace in the Middle East, but he's also going to change the way we're working with China, as you were mentioning before.
We are looking forward to it. We believe the world needs to be a more equitable place, right? We need to have more trade amongst nations. We need to have peace. That dividend will make a huge difference to the bottom of the pyramid, the 1 billion that nobody reaches out to.
Even Kamala Harris seems to be supporting peace in Kashmir.
Not at all. You have no idea. You have no idea. There's only one solution to the whole region, and it's just 2 words. Should I say it?
Please go ahead.
Akhand Bharat.
Bharat doesn't look very akhand these days, Goswami. 19 different spots. FSJ reminded you last week, if you remember.
No. Mr. Aftab Iqbal, that's just fake news.
Uncle Z, he said Akhand Bharat, United India.
Oh, what does that mean exactly? Isn't India already united?
No, he wants to add us also back in India.
Wait, so Mr. Goswami, are you saying that you want to add Pakistan, Kashmir, Jammu, Bangladesh?
I love you. Wow.
All
Such
into one
beautiful
big
words.
country? Is that what you're
Keep
suggesting?
saying it. Keep adding countries. Yes, please go
He
on.
won't mind, Uncle Z, if you add even Sri Lanka in it.
Yeah, why not?
Mr. Goswami, I don't understand. Can you please explain this policy? And also, maybe you can tell us, what is this Hindutva that I keep hearing about with your extremist policies that you are launching that are anti-peace and anti-progress?
No. Another concocted term. Well, you know who concocted it? ISI.
Always with the ISI, Mr. Goswami. What,
Absolutely.
everything controlled by the ISI? When it rains outside, is that the ISI as well, Mr. Goswami? Come on, Mr. Goswami.
No.
What kind of moron are you?
Yes, Goswami? He's waiting for your answer.
What answer? What did he ask?
It was a simple question. What kind of a moron are you? Answer him.
Wow. You guys always plot against me. By the way, Mr. Aftab Iqbal.
Yes.
Mr. Aftab Iqbal, are you listening?
Yes, I am listening.
Okay. I was just asking, why don't you have a serious question for me?
Okay, I have plenty of serious questions for you.
Please.
Especially for you.
Please, go on.
Okay, tell me, how does China fit in this peace picture in South Asia?
Nowhere. China is actually nowhere. By the way, Mr. Aftab Iqbal, China and Pakistan have got very little in common. And you know what that is?
No, I don't know.
Okay, hear it from me. It's just the sheer interest to contain India. Nothing more.
Wow. What does Ms. Zhao have to say about that?
Nothing. She's got zipped mouth right now.
Wait a minute. She only speaks when she's asked. Yes, Miss Zhao.
Well, you see, Uncle Z, China and Pakistan has a very strong shared bond. We want economic prosperity and peace throughout the subcontinent. China's interests are Pakistan's interests. We are working together for the progress in the region and the world as very strong allies.
Yes, Mr. Goswami, you heard her.
I absolutely heard her and I started laughing as well. She's pretty good at it. She always makes me laugh. By the way, Miss Zhao,
Yes.
why do you ignore the cross-border violations and the terrorism perpetrated by the Pakistanis and all the negative stuff?
Wow, Ms. Zhao, what are you going to say about that? It's probably for the same reason that the Pakistanis ignore the Chinese human rights violations, especially those perpetrated against their Muslim brothers and sisters that are in the Uyghurs in the Xinjiang province. Did you think about that?
Wow, bullseye! Dr. Z, high five!
Well, that's fake news. There is no such thing in China. Not at all. Not that I know of. What are you talking about?
Ms. Zhao, we keep going back and forth about these Uyghurs, and every time we talk about it, even though there's plenty of facts, there's plenty of data, there's plenty of news stories that prove it, and all you say is fake news and ignore the facts that they're there. You have to address this issue. What are you doing with these
Uncle
Uyghurs?
Z, I would like to jump in. And these guys have got the audacity to point fingers at India that we are treating Muslims differently. Wow.
Well, Miss Zhao, the Uyghur issue does exist. It is not all that baseless, and we would like you to enlighten us a little on that.
Mr. Iqbal, what do you want to know?
I want to know, what are you doing for the Uyghurs?
Well, we are encouraging the Uyghurs to make handicraft that we will export through Alibaba to the whole world. See? Economic prosperity.
That's ridiculous. You know, Miss Zhao, I think just how ridiculous your responses are prove that you have no idea of reality. But I do want to stop on one item. Mr. Goswami, just because Ms. Zhao and the Chinese are violating human rights with the Uyghurs, that does not make it okay for you to violate the rights of the Muslims and other minority groups in India.
What Ms. Zhao said about the Uyghurs is not different from what you say about the Native Americans.
What do you have to say about it, Uncle Z?
Well, I admit it. What we did with the Native Americans was not right. But we have worked very hard to provide reparations for what happened to the Native Americans. We have given them land, we have given them special privileges, and we have done everything that we can to make up for our past indiscretions with the Native Americans. But don't even stop. That was ancient news. This is hundreds of years ago. What you all, the Chinese, did even 50 years ago is terrible in the region. Don't pretend like in history your kingdoms and leaders haven't destroyed native people and persecuted many people. The fact is that today the Uyghurs are being persecuted in China, and that today the Muslims and minorities are being persecuted in India, and this is unacceptable.
I think we need to use the K word. We need to talk about Kashmir. That is the biggest festering sore. That is where the most violations are taking place. And they've been taking place for the last 40, 50 years.
This is a great point, Mr. Faisal Sherjan, and a great topic.
And for the first time, I would agree with Mr. FSJ. The pundits in the Kashmir are being persecuted. You're absolutely right about that.
Oh.
The pundits? What do you mean? Like the pundits on TV?
No.
What,
The
the
real
pundits that
sadhus.
go on and talking heads? What are you talking about, you crazy fool?
That Goswami and his gang spins. They always try to deflect.
Okay, FSJ, I would like to take you to the Pak, Iran, Turkey train project. A quick word on that.
Well, I think it's indicative of which way the world should really go. More cooperation amongst nations, more regional development, more connections between people. The train project, the train that's going to run from Islamabad all the way to Istanbul via Tehran, is something that we should all laud, and more of it should be happening. There has to be that train that leaves Beijing and arrives in London. Why can't that happen? That is on the cards also.
A kind of a reincarnation of your most favorite Orient Express.
Oh, absolutely. The romance of train travel, the beauty attached to it, and the huge amount of economic opportunity attached to train travel.
Wait, don't forget Agatha Christie. You know what she said about the Orient Express? Don't you remember what she wrote about Orient Express?
You know, Mr. Goswami, what did she write? I am confused. Tell me.
Yes, Uncle Z, she wrote her famous novel, The Murder on Orient Express. A very beautiful, celebrated novel.
Can we possibly somehow get Goswami onto the Orient Express?
No. I'm fine.
Agatha Christie's Orient Express.
No. I'm pretty good here. I like Mumbai local. That's good. That's fine for me.
Why don't you come to Beijing, Goswami?
No.
Well, all I can say is this, Mr. Faisal Sherjan. This train project sounds fantastic. I'd love to have a ticket on its inaugural trip, as long as it's not the Titanic, that is.
Inshallah, it won't be a Titanic. It would be a glorious journey, beginning of a great journey together. Well, Sheikh Hamza, I would like him to say a word about the famous Jamal Khashoggi case. We are right again. That is being reopened by Biden administration.
I warned you that when Joe Biden came into office, he was going to reopen that case.
Oh, no, brother. We have nothing to worry about at all. The sanctions are just against minor princes. MBS and the Saudis have nothing to worry about. Don't you worry.
Jamal Khashoggi, Sheikh Hamza, is going to be a very, very serious case, beyond your imagination.
Mr. Aftab,
Yes, Ya Sheikh.
are you with us or with Jamal Khashoggi?
I am with neither. I am with truth, with justice.
What is interesting is that in reaction to Joe Biden's reopening of the Khashoggi incident, his murder, Saudi Arabia has suddenly warmed up to Pakistan.
Yes.
They've announced the $10 billion investment in a refinery at Khabaryar,
Yes.
and another $10 billion to follow.
Remarkable. Another half a dozen cases like Khashoggi, and hopefully we are out of the developing world.
Sheikh Hamza, are you making it rain over there for the Pakistanis?
Uncle Z, Pakistanis are our brothers after all. We cannot separate from them. We love them.
Glad to know that.
Well, that's good to hear, Sheikh Hamza. But I want to bring us back to this Khashoggi case because the United States of America has launched a new policy under the Biden administration. It is called the Khashoggi policy. And what they do is it launches visa sanctions against any individual or any federal government that engages in any sort of counter-dissident action similar to what happened with Jamal Khashoggi.
Well, Uncle Z, as I said, we are not worried at all. The Saudis are not worried. MBS is not worried. We do not need to worry at all. The thing is, we support free journalism. We give a lot of free space to journalists, in fact. Can you not see Al Jazeera?
But Al Jazeera is a Qatari channel.
Well, who are Qataris? They are Arabs, not Germans.
Sheikh Hamza, who said that Qataris were Germans? What are you talking about, Sheikh Hamza? You sound as dumb as Goswami now.
No. I will not have that over here. Please, Uncle Z, do not compare me to this buffoon.
Buffoon. Wait, did I hear that? Buffoon?
Yeah.
Yes, Arnab, you
yes,
heard.
loud and clear. It was buffoon.
And now I would like to say something nastier to you, Ya Sheikh. Mr. Aftab Iqbal. Am I allowed?
Your choice, Goswami. Arabs are making $100 billion investment in India. Go ahead.
Okay, I'll keep quiet for now.
I think that's what they call hush money.
But Mr. Iqbal, I would call him Hush Puppy.
Going back to Sheikh Hamza, I gotta ask him though. He said all these things, but he never denied the fact that the Saudis were guilty and complicit in the murder of Jamal Khashoggi. Is that true, Sheikh Hamza?
Well, number one, we do not consider this a murder. It looks more like a suicide. What? Don't you see how many pieces he cut himself up into? He apparently cut himself into 100 pieces.
Well, this sounds more dumber than me. Wow.
Arnab.
I have a competition. Wow.
Arnab, please.
Sheikh Hamza, how absurd and ridiculous are that? You really are giving Mr. Goswami a run for his money in Dummy of the Day. How could a man cut himself up into 100 pieces? Come on, Mr. Sheikh Hamza.
Okay, I take back. It was just a figure of speech. Okay, I didn't mean 100 pieces, maybe 10.
Wow. Finally a day that I'm not the dumbest.
Sheikh Hamza, today you outsmart Goswami.
Thank you so much.
Is this a good thing? No?
That's it. Well, that is even a benchmark for somebody like me.
What do we have to lose at the end? We can always go back to the desert with our goats and camels. They are the ones who need the oil, Mr. Iqbal.
Oh, Sheikh Hamza, come on. You gonna tell me that you can live a lifestyle without your fancy cars, your beautiful houses, your mansions and palaces, and all the things that you bought with all your oil money? Come on, Sheikh.
I hear a lot of Texas in you today, Uncle Z.
Uncle Z, you are very Harry Burton today.
Oh, come on, Mr. Aftab. Well, it's better being full of oil than full of something else, if you know what I mean, like our friend Mr. Goswami over there.
Well, when it comes to oil, we are making a huge investment in Pakistan, our brotherly country.
I will involve Miss Asha also once again. Yes, Miss Asha, how is the peace process being taken in India, especially when the farmers are still out on the road?
The problem lies in how BJP is handling the things. Our strength lies in secularism, not in Hindutva. And farmers are the backbone of Mother India. They cannot be treated like Modi ji has been treating them. Modi ji wants to treat them as second-class citizens. They cannot be treated like that.
And Miss Asha, what about the Kashmiris, the poor Kashmiris?
An average Indian wants as much peace in Kashmir as Pakistanis.
Asha ji, you're not listening to me.
I'm listening to you.
Then why don't you go back to Pakistan? Please go back to Pakistan.
Well, Mr. Aftab Sahib, isn't Pakistan a good place to be? I don't understand why he makes it into a negative thing. And what's wrong with going back to Pakistan?
I think Mr. Abhinandan would say that. And we just celebrated the fantastic tea day a few days ago.
And what happened 2 years ago when Mr. Imran Khan patted him on the cheek and said, don't do it again.
Yes, Mr. Goswami, what do you have to say for yourself?
I'll just say don't go there.
Why
Never.
not? Why not? Mr. Abhinandan would not like to come back to Pakistan. And yes, it is the most expensive teacup ever produced.
Oh really?
Yes.
Are we going on that road again, Mr. Aftab Iqbal?
The price of that cup of tea was one MiG-21.
Oh my God, wow. You guys must have forgotten what your ex-Speaker of Assembly said on the floor of the House. You don't remember that?
Yes, we do.
I think he was Mr. Ayaz Sadiq.
Yes, it was one of the most idiotic statements a member of assembly would ever give.
He pointed fingers at who and who, Mr. Aftab Iqbal.
Goswami, why are you always like an excitable cooker?
What do you mean by that?
Oh, he just mean, why are you so full of crap?
Full of what?
Okay, no. I know what she said. Okay, don't repeat it.
You should thank her, Goswami,
And why would I do that?
because she used the word crap. She euphemized it.
Well, Arnab, I hope you do not slip on your razor and cut yourself into 100 pieces.
No, I would never do that. I hope I won't do that.
That would be a sight for sore eyes for many people, though.
No, we don't want another Arnab Khashoggi.
Please, Mr. Aftab Iqbal.
Arnab Khashoggi.
Okay, we have another participant from the Dummy Museum. Mr. Shabazz Sharif's dummy is online with us.
Hi, Aftab and the rest of the panelists. How are you?
Very good, Mia Saab. How are you?
Better, much better.
Congratulations.
और मेरा की पढ़िया गया?
No, congratulations on Hamza's release.
Oh, thank you so much, Aftab. It was very tough time for our whole family. Finally, one by one, we are coming out of the jail. Me, I am next. Don't forget I'm next.
Okay, you were not scheduled today. Thanks a lot for being with us.
No, wait. Well, actually, I had no plans. But I heard somebody talking about investment in Pakistan. And who was it, Aftab?
It was FSJ and Sheikh Hamza. They talked about $10 billion being invested in the oil refinery.
Oh my God, 10 billion?
Dollars, Mia Saab.
Oh my God. Look how lucky this Niazi is. And to tell you the truth, he's just lucky. Baki inde pale kakh bhi nahi. Huge sums of investments are coming and I am in the jail.
Mr. Sharif, all I'm saying is that the Pakistani people are very lucky that you're in jail, because otherwise you'd be doing everything you could to get your greasy little hands on that $10 billion to put them in your back pocket.
एक गले ने मेरे हक की थी खिलाफ.
Yeah, Uncle Z.
Aftab,
Yes.
leave Uncle Z alone. Does Bauji know about this?
About what?
This investment.
Investment.
Bauji nu pata hai ki nahi? That's
For you, this investment is the biggest news. Even bigger than Hamza's release.
No. ऐसी गल नहीं. If money is coming to Pakistan, Bauji should also be coming with the next flight.
What, Mr. Sharif, are you telling me that the news of this money is more important to you than even the news of the new peace agreements happening over Kashmir between India and Pakistan?
Oh, who cares about these peace initiative things? These things will continue till eternity. Let's talk about Bauji outside, me inside, and look at Niazi drowning himself in dollars.
Drowning himself in dollars.
Mr. Sharif, now you sound like Mr. Goswami. You should be ashamed of yourself. All he cares about is money and not peace. Are you just the same as Arnab Goswami now, Mr. Sharif?
Uncle Z, they're interchangeable.
Oh, How do you feel about that, Mr. Goswami?
I don't know if I should mind or Mr. Sharif should mind it.
Oh, I would mind. I would never like to be you.
Why not?
Aftab, ki galpiya karna hai? What are you talking about? I have served this country. Don't you know that?
Are you waiting for your get out of jail free card, Mr. Sharif?
Balaji, don't forget, I also know the way out of the jail. I'm just waiting for the right time.
Okay, Uncle Z.
Oh, chhad yaar, Uncle Zinu. Eh, 10 paise aan shuru ho gaye ne ki nahi?
Mr. Aftab sir, what the heck is he saying? I don't understand a word that's coming out of his mouth.
Oh, has the money started pouring in or not? And Uncle Z, this is our personal matter. We have a bad economic situation here. We must talk about money. It's not like your economy. Don't forget that. It'll take years to be like you, okay? Anji, daso, fir paise aa rahe ne ki nahi?
Mr. Sharif, why don't you ask Ms. Zhao? She's been sending you billions and billions of dollars to develop your country. Maybe she can give you a handout.
Ina cho Miss Zhao kaun hai?
Well, Uncle Z, thank you for giving the hint. Hello, Mr. Sharif.
Oh, I have heard this voice before. How are you?
Of course you have heard it. I am fine. How are you in the jail?
Buddy, that's a very sweet voice. Aftab, who's she?
She's Miss Zhao.
What happened to Punjab speed, Mr. Sharif?
Oh, बढ़ गई पंजाब speed. कौन पूछने रहे हो?
What is going on? Why can't you talk in English, Mr. Sharif?
Yes, please, Mr. Sharif. Speak in English.
Uncle Z, it is a matter of $10 billion dollars.
Language, Mia Saab, language.
Yes, language. Tell me which language. I can talk any language when it's about money. I can speak even in Swahili, Hebrew, English to share koi nahi.
Because it's the money that matters.
और OV dollar. ऐसे आजकल rate क्या?
Don't you know, Mia Saab?
Oh, I am in jail. How can I know the rates? Aftab, मैं दस्ते हमेशा मैं गलत rate दस्ते हैं.
It is 160, Mia Saab.
Aftab,
Yes.
can you please multiply it with $10 billion?
Why would I multiply it with $10 billion?
$10 billion multiplied with 160 rupees.
A lot of money.
$1.6 trillion, Mr. Sharif. Imagine all the roads and highways and systems you could build in Punjab with that money, or you can line your pockets and build a bunch of mansions. Now, can you please just speak English, Mr. Sharif?
बाबे लोग चुप कराओ यार बाबे. ट्रिलियनर की गाल हो रही है. We are talking about trillion. I've already made the roads and the overpass, underpasses. चुप क्यों उन्होंने बाहर सुट्टा मैंने. कुछ नहीं.
What do you mean by that?
They threw me out.
Who threw you out?
पिंडी वाले और कौन? They threw me out like a used okay tissue paper.
Well, Mr. Sharif, maybe if you didn't steal so much money from them, they wouldn't have thrown you out in the first place.
Aftab, Uncle Z is taking a lot of interest in me.
Yes, the
It's
world is
because-
taking a lot of interest in you, sir. You are a very important person.
Really?
Yes, because allegedly you stole a lot of money from here.
Aftab, if this money is really coming, Niazi needs an excellent HR for this.
Mia Saab is referring to how the money is moved around. Round tripping. Goes out, comes back. You need bank accounts. You need laddu pithi walas. You need kulfi faluda walas. You need naan tikki walas.
To send the money abroad. Okay.
Why does he do that? Why doesn't he just open up a laundromat?
That is exactly what he is doing.
If you guys are going to laugh at me, I gave you $1 billion idea. Aftab, should I hang up?
No, please stay with us.
Ki fayda, stay with us. Maujate razi karo. Now tell me one thing. Why does he always get the best?
What do you mean by that, Mia Saab?
As if you don't know.
No, I really don't know.
हाँ रहने दे फिर कहेगा कि रियाम को लोग किताबा लिखाना.
You allegedly financed Reham's book project, didn't you, Mia Saab?
Not at all. Fake news. Aftab, I want to speak to Sheikh Hamza.
Okay, go ahead.
No, privately.
How can you speak with him privately?
तुसी बाकी सारे अपने कान बंद कर लो. कल सुन, शेख हमजा.
Is he speaking to me, Mr. Iqbal?
वो तेरे नाल ही गाल कर रहे हैं यार. If you give this much money to Niazi, याद रख मेरे तो बुरा कोई नहीं होना ही. और अगली बारी साड़ी है. Don't forget that. The next turn is our turn, and I'm not as generous as Bauji is.
What is he saying, Mr. Iqbal? I did not understand it.
No, nothing. He's just a little derailed.
पहले ते
The jail actually is very tough. It's a process. He'll get better.
साहब he is faking it. ये पहले मैंने पंजाबी जुगता भी करता सी किसी ने. ओए तू शिकार खेडर नहीं आना और रहीम यार खान.
I only heard my name, Mr. Sharif. Please tell me what you are saying in English.
Hamza, don't forget the old times. Why are you acting like this? Niazi is the bad business partner, I tell you this. He is actually a very bad every partner. But when it comes to business, he's the worst.
Well, I can't speak to his personal affairs, but as a business partner, we're doing pretty well. Just to clarify my point, we are dealing with the country, Pakistan, and not with any individual, as it used to happen in the past.
You heard him, Mia Saab. It used to happen in the past.
Aftab, तू क्यों ध्यान पवा रहे हैं? वैसे, Sheikh Hamza, you are also number 2 Sheikh. असली है ही नहीं. There is a difference between Ya Sheikh and Mr. Sheikh. You're not Ya Sheikh, you're Ya Sheikh.
I'm getting some serious Arnab vibes from you, Mr. Sharif.
There are so many business opportunities in America. Niazi doesn't even know that. Uncle Z. Uncle, hello. Uncle Z. Z. Babe nu check karo, marte nahi kya?